Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video I wanted to take a bit more of a closer look at the Super Saiyan Vegeta, his kind of passive, take a look again at his animations, and get a look at his general battle unit, the King Vegeta, and kind of get a good feel for just how good these guys are going to be as a pairing, or in general, in the game. Now, for those who don't know, Vegeta was announced for Saiyan Day, obviously along with some other cool announcements during the Dokkan Volume Now. He was announced as the lead unit for Saiyan Day. So he's an extreme tech, which is pretty interesting, an extreme unit Vegeta. You know, we've seen extreme tech Vegetas before, but this one stays extreme tech. Interesting. Leader skill, not too bad. Vegeta's family or Super Saiyans, nice coverage, 170%. I think that gives him a good round of coverage. And he includes Pure Saiyans, so all Super Saiyan Gokus are included. Battle of Wit, so we've got all Trunks covered. All Mastered Evolution, which kind of gives us a little bit more access to a few more Vegetas, a few more Gokus. And yeah, just in general, pretty decent team. Not bad in any way, shape or form. Saiyan Warrior Race, Royal Lineage, Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Lineage, Prodigy, Saiyan Pride, Fierce Battle, all fantastic. So great link set, honestly nothing to complain about there. He'll link up great with tons of Vegetas. Let's talk about his passive, because that's where things get very interesting. He's got Ki +2, attack and defense of 150%. He guards all attacks, reduces damage received by 18%, and launches an additional super attack for 3 turns from the character's entry turn. So pretty nice stuff. The more HP remaining when the character attacks for the first time in the turn, the greater the additional attack boost that he will receive. So basically, if you have high health at the point of attacking, you will get a higher boost. The more HP remaining when a character receives an attack for the first time, the greater the additional defensive boost. So it's not going to go down if you take damage or anything. It's all based on your HP the first time you receive that attack. So it's a very interesting change to how the mechanics kind of worked before, and I think it's a pretty nice one in some ways, and also in not some other ways, but it's still pretty cool. An additional defense 31% with each attack received, up to 80%, so 3 attacks, and launch an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack when there's an ally whose name includes Goku or an enemy. I like that it includes Goku as an ally or an enemy. Not only do I think this gives him a little bit more leniency, but what it also does, interestingly enough, is it represents that Goku's kind of not really his, good friend at this point, but he's still kind of his enemy. So the next thing is obviously his active skill. He's got that transformation. So the transformation requirement is ridiculously easy. He can activate his transformation when HP is 18% or more starting from the 3rd turn. So basically, unless for some reason you're below 18% health, which is a very, very difficult situation to be in, you can transform this guy pretty much at will. You may want to hold off on his transformation. Obviously, he does stack attack and defense in his base form, and that's something that's quite important, especially towards his later kind of defensive capabilities. Vegeta's family, Super Saiyans, Pure Saiyans, Battle of Wits, Master Evolution, Android Cell Saga, Gifted Warriors, and Transformation Boost are his categories. In terms of super attacks, he raises attack and defense, like I mentioned, and of course he seals super attack, which is pretty interesting as well. Once you transform into the Super Saiyan variant of Vegeta, you will obviously now have Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Prepare for Battle, Golden Warrior, Prodigy, Saiyan Pride, and Fierce Battle. And in terms of his passive, he gets a flat boost pretty much, plus permanent guard, so Ki +3, attack and defense of 180% instead of 150, guards all attacks, reduces damage received by 18%. So 18% plus guard plus decently high defense means that Vegeta should be very solid defensively. Plus an additional attack and defense of 180% when attacking without any HP requirements, and then if HP is 30% or more, he will launch an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack, so that's also quite a pretty solid chance to have another super attack. Plus an additional attack of 30% to target enemies' HP is 80% or less, an additional 30% to the target's enemy's HP is 60% or less, and an additional attack of 50% to target enemy's HP is 40% or less. So that's pretty interesting. Obviously 30, 30, and 50, it doesn't add up to 110%. It actually adds up to a lot more, because each layer will become multiplicative. So that 30 will go up and then it'll become like 70, and then after that it will go up again, so it'll be like closer to kind of like the 150-ish mark, maybe even 160. So yeah, then he gets an additional defense of 180% when receiving an attack. He will launch an additional super attack within the same turn and disable the attacked enemy's action once after receiving an attack. So that's pretty interesting to see a character that disables enemies' actions after receiving an attack. It's obviously a bit of a change from, I guess what's currently been happening, whereby most times you have to attack to get it done, but it's pretty interesting. He has an active skill, massively raising his attack, giving him guaranteed crits and causing ultimate damage to the enemy. Can be activated after he's received attacks 3 or more times, or if the enemy has less than 80% HP. So Vegeta looks pretty good. Honestly speaking, he looks really solid, greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn on his super. I think he's great. The big question will be how long you keep him in base to stack. Do you switch him over? When do you not switch him over? But I think he looks great. He really does look incredibly solid. He looks like a really fun unit. I like his design. I think he'll be very consistent. I think he's going to be good in a lot of content. So we'll take a look at his animations, but I think kit-wise, Vegeta's great. Yeah, I don't have anything wrong with Vegeta. We'll have to obviously assess the banner, but I think Vegeta's pretty good. Then we have King Vegeta. So King Vegeta, I think this is the first summonable King Vegeta we have. Pure Saiyan Z of 130%. Same warrior race, royal lineage, Saiyan pride, prepare for battle, Saiyan lineage, Brainiacs, and fierce battle. So basically, barring Brainiacs, he's like a perfect linking foil for that base form of Vegeta. Really, really nice. Key +3, attack on defense of 180% with an additional 90% when attacking. Changes physical key spheres to AGL. Reduces damage received by 18% with 3 or more key spheres obtained. Plus an additional damage reduction of 18% with 3 or more AGL key spheres obtained. Pure Saiyan's Vegeta's family category ally of 30% attack and defense, and chance of performing a crit of plus 18%, plus an additional attack and defense of 9%, and all allies get key +3 and 30% when performing a super attack if there's an ally whose name includes Vegeta attacking in the same turn. So not too much to take in here actually. Basically, he has 180% attack and defense. He'll get another 90% when attacking. I noticed they're using when attacking now, not for super attacks, so to kind of prevent units that don't manage to get their supers off or sealed. He reduces damage received by 18% with 3 or more. If you get 3 AGL key spheres, then he will have 36% damage reduction. He's the 30% flat support for Pure Saiyans and Vegeta's family. And then if you do have Vegeta in rotation, then he'll be a 60% support for them, as well as giving 10% crit chance and an additional 90% attack for himself, which is pretty big. All in all, categories wise, Pure Saiyans, Vegeta's family, and that's kind of it. Terrifying Conquerors, Inhuman Deeds, Special Young Warriors, and Storied Figures. And he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes supreme damage to the enemy. He could be okay. It's difficult to kind of gauge how his multiplicator passives are going to work with his damage reduction, but overall I think he could be quite fine. So yeah, I think both units are pretty good. We'll have to take a look at the banner when it comes out, but for now, let's take a look at the animations and see how it goes. So in terms of the animations, I think the issue I found, or that I was kind of like, that I kind of understand is, yeah, I think the source material is good. I think the source material is very solid for Vegeta, but I think what the issue is ultimately, at the end of the day, is that there is like a little bit of missing context. I would have loved a intro animation with kind of his like famous tantrum that he throws on the planet. Not really a tantrum, but like his famous moment where he goes like, oh, I should be Super Saiyan, I'm the prince, and he does it. Like, I think that would have been a great intro animation to kind of show him and give more feeling to it, because his original transformation kind of depends a lot on that emotion from there. The actual scenes themselves, I think, are fine. I think if you play them at 2x speed, they're going to look fine. I think they're going to look good. They're not going to look bad at all. I think they're going to look good. I just think, yeah, I think they're a little bit lackluster, because I think, for me, felt like there's something just missing. Feels like there's a part of the story of this Vegeta as a unit that they don't have there. And when he was starting as Vegeta, yeah,